I can do the intro. Welcome everybody to the Broken Build Chicken Nugget podcast. We have a very special guest this week. This is Kevin Sorensen.
Hi.
Um,
Hey.
Kevin, what are your pronouns, Kevin?
He is.
Perfect. Hi Adrian.
Oh,
Hi.
What's up, dude?
Hi.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Hi.
All right. So Kevin, um, Kevin, how did we meet? Did we meet online?
yeah, club.
The
I
club.
think.
Okay.
All right.
So for anyone who doesn't know,
Yeah,
Juniper is gonna be sniffing your stuff.
that's okay.
For anyone who doesn't know, I'm a moderator at the club, which is it's an online art community, generally game art focused, but not 3D specifically, 2D, 3D, anything. And I've been a part of it for like a couple of years now, and like moderating it for like a year and a half, probably, maybe a little more. Um, and Kevin started hanging out there, and that's how we met. And now we live in the same city, so we hang out sometimes.
It's
It's cool. Kevin, what do you do for work, Kevin?
I am an environment artist at Aggro Crab Games.
Exciting.
Yeah. Working
So you deal
on-
with angry crabs all day.
Yeah,
What's
I am
that?
the angry crab.
What's that like? What's that like dealing with an angry crab? Or being
It's
an angry
awful.
crab in today's
sucks.
economy?
Daily
No, it's good.
abuse.
It's great. We're working on another crab's treasure.
Ooh. Is that your first game with them, or did you work on Going Under?
I didn't work on Going Under. This is my first game with them. Yeah. Yeah.
Exciting. I will self confess. I'm a little bit of an Aggro Crab nerd. I love Going Under. I thought it was brilliant.
Me too.
Adrian,
Fucking nerd!
Oh, that's what. I thought there was something wrong. You were like
No.
pointing and being silent, and
No,
I
I'm
was
just
like, oh no.
I was just waiting for you to look at the camera.
You confuse me, my friend.
I confuse myself.
Yeah, I really loved Going Under. And I really like the way Aggro Crab is like positioning itself in the industry. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Like being completely indie and like just kind of running everything themselves and like coming at it with a fresh energy, especially in like PR and like social media and stuff, I think is really interesting. It's much more like, sorry, I'm eating chicken nuggets. I'm a little hungry. I
Don't worry, I'm
apologize to the
zooming in
audio
every
viewers.
time you take a bite of chicken nuggets, and then it's just gonna
Mm,
follow your mouth. And go...
let me get you a good shot. You ready for the last bite?
Yeah.
Okay, so I put a little ketchup on it. You can see it right here. Right? And then I'm gonna. Yummy. All right, we're done. We're done with mukbang. Okay. It's a little mukbang. We have our little bobas. Oh yeah, drink check. What's everyone drinking right now? We got boba.
I have Thai tea protein.
Nice. Mine is I got a peach green tea boba with the lychee popping boba. It's very tasty.
I don't know what mine is.
Drinking.
It's pink.
It's pink.
Yeah, lychee cream with crystal boba.
Ooh, that sounds good too.
I like the crystal boba.
Is that the one you got last time?
It is. It's like gummies.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never heard of Aggro Crab, or Going Under. I'm completely ignorant to it,
That's okay.
just because
Okay.
I'm an idiot. So, so this is gonna be. I'm gonna be the audience. Hello, I am audience.
Sure.
Hello, audience. We are
Hello.
the game
Mm-hmm.
master.
Um,
Hi.
So, what is Going Under, and what is the new title? Like,
Yeah,
just
sure.
briefly, so that way we don't
Want to
like-
talk about it?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so Going Under is a roguelike in which you explore the dungeons underneath failed startups. And in the world of Going Under, startup companies that fail sink into the earth and become dungeons. And the employees turn into monsters. It's really, really cute. It's really got a fun art style, and it's got fantastic writing.
It just reminds me of Silicon Valley. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it pokes a lot of fun at startup culture and tech bro kind of culture. Um, and there's a lot of satirical comedy in it too.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then Another Crab's Treasure is what we're working on now. It is a Souls-like, underwater Souls-like adventure in which you play as Krill, the hermit crab, in search of his lost shell. And in the game, you wear trash as a shell to defend yourself against a lot of hostile sea creature monsters.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So it's like it's an indie studio that like prides itself on very light-hearted games with really good mechanics and
Coming from someone who loved Going Under, so I'm a little biased towards like the Aggro Crab work because I think it's gonna be right up my alley every time, no matter what you guys do. But I really think it's gonna be good, and Kevin's work on it was really really cool.
Thank you.
I think what attracted me to Going Under at first was the art style. Like, I don't know if you're looking at screenshots, Adrian, but it very much like pokes fun at like the in like new media design right now, like those trends of like the like really the round shapes and like the faceless people
Yeah,
with like the
corporate
long
art style.
yeah, the corporate art style.
I think it's called
been a couple Twitter
corporate
threads about it.
Memphis is what the styles
Yeah, right.
often referred to.
Mm. And I think it's a great art style personally. I don't mind it at all. But I was really I think I didn't even know anything about Aggro Crab. I didn't know you. I didn't know anything when Going Under came out. And I saw the game and I was like, this is brilliant. Finally, like someone is doing this like this, like figuring out the tech of like making that art style look good in a game. And then I looked into it and I was like, oh, it's like they're making fun of startups and it's also a roguelite. I was like, I just finished like 300 hours of 80s at that point, and I was like, absolutely, I will get Going Under.
Totally.
And it was sick. It was so good.
Yeah.
I loved it a lot. And so, and then I met Kevin, and then Kevin started working at Aggro Crab, and I was like, ooh. Yeah, I'm super stoked. I think to talk a bit about Aggro Crab, if that's cool.
Yeah.
How did they? Because it's the big. You got Nick is the creative director, right? What's Nick's last name?
Cayman.
Nick Cayman, like art director, and like, and then did he meet with a couple of the other founders at like UW or something? University of
I
Washington.
think so. Yeah. I can't say exactly for sure, but I think Kalen and Nick were very involved in the like game development club at UW, and I think that's how they got into it. I'm not for sure though.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
It's just I think it's an interesting story of like people met, made a game, and made a couple like smart choices, and like I just like how you've not positioned yourselves as a company, yourselves. You know, it's how many people work at Aggro Crab?
Oh boy. Like
You go what, like a dozen?
exact number. If you're wrong,
Yeah, don't worry about it.
like 16.
No, it's
16?
I think
That's more than I thought.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My point being, like, you guys are small.
Yeah, we're
and
small,
it
yeah.
feels like very, you guys like are pretty close with each other.
Yeah.
And it's a very memey. If anyone follows the Aggro Crab Twitter account, it's some of my favorite shit posts of all time.
Yeah.
For years now.
Our Twitter is really good.
The Twitter's really good.
Our TikTok's also really
The
good.
TikTok is great. You guys got a community manager that's killing it.
Yeah. Paige is awesome. She makes fantastic TikToks. And I feel like he's been doing a lot of great work for the brand. And
That's awesome.
super funny stuff.
It feels really fresh to see like a company like not taking themselves too seriously and like
Yeah,
constantly
I like
making
it.
jokes about themselves.
Yeah.
And then you guys also published, right? You published Subway Midnight.
Yeah, that was Bubby Darkstar developed the game Subway Midnight, and I guess that was Aggro Crab sort of dipping our toes into publishing. I didn't have anything to do with that, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool. I like Subway Midnight.
Subway Night is a good game. If anyone hasn't played it, you really should.
Yeah,
It's a cool like horror.
It's like a cute horror.
Yeah, cute horror, and the art
Spooky
style
cute.
is really interesting.
Yeah.
It's me. I am somebody.
It's you.
Yeah, I haven't played. I don't play a lot of games. No.
Yeah, sorry, I'm very much going like interview mode on Kevin right now.
No,
You're
it's
kind of,
perfect.
like,
This is what
you're
we're supposed to
enjoying
be, and
this?
I'm just sitting here sitting. I'm like, fuck, I do not play a lot of games. I'm a depressed fuck.
Because you keep playing fucking the Dark Souls series over and over again.
It's not my fault. Elden Ring made me happy.
Damn, sounds
And now I'm
It's not
playing
my fault, I was
Destiny 2.
happy.
sounds like you'll.
And then
enjoy another
Destiny
Red
2 came out, and I'm like, oh shit. And
Should
then I
never
have to
check.
play-
She just probably broke my graphic tablet. It's fine. Do you want to say hi?
Dead. Hey.
And then I decided to play League of Legends again, so I'm fucked.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're gonna have an intervention later about this. You don't need to start playing League of Legends again. You're better than this.
That's not true.
Kevin, so you're an environment artist. You're like us. This is just a couple environment pals, just palling around,
Mhm.
right? How did you do more stylized stuff than we do? Maybe Agent, can we run like a couple screenshots of like Kevin's?
I was already planning on doing it.
Okay,
like
perfect.
this is easy content for me to edit.
Sick. But like, how did you start doing 3D? Like, how did you know you wanted to like? Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Okay. So.
What's your journey? Your hero's journey?
I started like messing around with 3D for fun when I was like in high school. And I was just kind of, I didn't really see it as any sort of job opportunity or anything. I thought maybe that would be cool one day, but it was mostly just for fun. And then in college, I started learning a little bit more, and I took some programming classes in college, and I was getting more interested in game development, but I don't think I really saw it as a job opportunity just yet. At the time, I was going to college for, I was a Japanese major, and I'm not like, I was mostly a Japanese major because that was my main like study interest in high school. But I didn't really see what I wanted to do with it, like with the job. And I didn't have any concrete plans. But in college, I was starting to see game development more as a job opportunity. And I started to dip my toes into learning more like workflow stuff, and like how I can actually turn what little 3D stuff I've been doing for fun into potentially like job skills. And yeah, then I joined the club, which kind of helped me kickstart my my journey into growing into an industry artist. And yeah, I think at that point I dropped out of college, and I yeah, nice. I dropped out of college and I just started working consistently on my portfolio, and yeah, then I got a few little jobs, little one-off gigs, and some smaller contract gigs, and now I'm at Aggro Crab. And
Very
Aggro Crab
exciting.
is my first like full-time job
Very cool.
at my full-time game job.
That's exciting. I'm sorry if you can hear me like trying to get the
Slurping.
boba pieces. Yeah, I'm
Oh
just.
no, I don't worry. I mean, I'm gonna completely make fun of you in the edit, so it's fine.
No, please do, because I'm gonna do this all episode.
You're just gonna.
I'm
you're
a
like-
terrible podcaster. This is awful. I didn't know you were a Japanese major actually.
Yeah,
That's really cool. Is this still something you like keep up with, or was it just like
not
you needed
really.
a major to go to college?
Yeah, I mean, I was really into it in high school, and it was like my main interest. And then you good?
It just sounded so bad.
You're giving that fucking straw the Gok 3000 with the McTwisty Wisty over there.
I got a magic
Jesus.
mouth. What can I say?
Damn.
That
But no,
big
I didn't
mouth.
really like I've lost all my Japanese
Mhm.
or most. It's something that like I can see myself getting into again as a hobby, but self-study is hard for me, and
Mhm.
yeah.
So, but you say self-study is hard for you, but like you learn 3D by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I think of it as self-language study specifically. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. That's a lot harder. Like as someone
Sure.
who's bilingual, like learning without having like conversation practice is really
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah, that's I feel like for me it's that I have I'm alright self-studying for like input. Like I can read texts and listen to podcasts or music and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
But I don't get any sort of output practice, like speaking practice, and like conversation practice. So I think maybe that's the main thing that makes self-study hard for me.
I respect that. And
Yeah.
I understand it. I can't self-study anything. I think that's why I went to college for 3D, you know.
Sure.
I needed the structure and like that time I needed to allocate
Yeah.
to 3D because I was paying for it out of my ass.
Did you do any 3D stuff before going to college for it?
Nah, man. I never touched 3D at all before I enrolled in a 3D major and was like going to America on a
Cool.
scholarship. Like, let's figure this out.
Cool.
Because I just knew I wanted to work in games. Did we ever talk about this on the podcast, Adrian?
Probably.
I actually maybe it was our
I think we
pilot
mentioned
that we
it
never
briefly
released.
that you didn't do much, but
Yeah, I thought I wanted to be a concept artist.
Oh yeah.
When I grew up, and it turns out I was garbage at drawing, and I didn't feel like putting in the work to learn the fundamentals and stuff. Because my art teacher in high school was like, "Well, if you want to do this, you gotta like learn how to draw," and I was like, "No, anime faces only," right? Type of shit. I was that kid like sketching in his notebook all the time.
Sure.
I just drew cartoons and like shitty comics.
That's fine. I just choked on a boba. It's fine.
Death IRL, cringe.
I'm still alive for now, thankfully. But I didn't. Yeah, it took me like 4 years, all years of college, to get to a point where I was like, okay, like I can get a job now, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very impressed that it took. It sounds like it took you like 2 years to get in. Yeah, from scratch, really. You were like, you probably did. You do like
I
the
would say from
donut?
scratch. I feel like in high school I spent a lot of time in Blender just like for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting comfortable with Blender mostly. And I had done some like just for fun little game projects and tutorials and like Unity and stuff. But I think it took like 2 years of like study with like intent to learn,
Right.
and like kind of like self-structure.
Mhm.
Before,
Excuse
I
me, sir.
wasn't,
Do you have a moment to
like,
save the children?
I didn't really care about learning, or I didn't have any sort of goal to get into the industry.
Adrian, what's wrong, honey?
Look behind you.
Oh
No, Juniper! Get down. Get down. Get down, honey. All right, you know what? It's fine. The show must go on.
That was so funny. Like you were just talking, it was so good, and then Juniper was like,
Yeah, I don't know if she knows the camera's on, but she's acting up right now.
She knows. She's a star.
She is the center of the universe. This is a known fact.
Mm-hmm.
Juniper is on every single episode, just like swiping
Yeah.
her tail across the camera.
So
and,
Kevin,
like,
to circle back, so you did a bunch of stuff in high school, and then it just slowly built up to like I can do this, and then you just focused on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so sick.
Yeah, I think very early on when I was very young, like 13, 14, I was definitely interested in game development.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I downloaded I think it's called Game Salad and Construct 2, which are like little, I guess they're like visual scripting like game engines, and they're meant to make simple games yeah, but I never really like stuck with it, or you know, it was kind of off and on interests until I actually realized that it was something that I can do for work. And then yeah, then I studied with the intent to get a job eventually.
Did you ever do any like flash games back in the
Yeah,
day? Yeah, because that's where I did my stuff. It was like I was on Newgrounds and doing shit like that, like old flash games.
yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that kind of game development in simple, easy to use game engines that I think I'm not sure, but I think Game Salad is more geared towards kids, so it felt I was just having fun then, but
Hmm.
I guess I'm glad I did that stuff early because when I got into it, I actually knew that it's something that I like doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was like asking other game devs this, but like what games did you really play as a kid that was just like it's like this is crazy. I love this shit. And then you would get in
Um.
trouble because you stayed up too late.
Yeah. Well, my all my brothers are older than me, by a lot, and so I get all the hand-me-down consoles
Mhm.
from like generations ago. So when I think most kids my age grew up playing like probably like Wii, I guess. But I guess I started with like N64 games and like GameCube and stuff. Um, I think those kind of sparked my interest in games. But if there's one game that really kicked me into thinking like, oh, game development is a thing that exists, and I can do that for fun, I think that was probably Minecraft, actually.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, because I think I started playing Minecraft when I was like 12. Um, and yeah, there's a lot in Minecraft that I enjoyed that's kind of like technical stuff, like Redstone.
Hmm.
And I still enjoy that stuff today a lot. And making like custom texture packs and stuff, kind of dipping my toes into the more like not modding necessarily, but just like dipping my toes into changing the way my game works. And I think that sort of sparked my interest into game development.
Kevin's a Redstone nerd.
I
Yeah,
am.
so, like I remember one like we have a server and then like we play a lot, but like on the first one, I'd be gone for a week and I'd come back and then Kevin would have like this contraption made. I'm like, what the fuck happened? and I'm
Yeah,
and I'm here trying to make an underground base out of nowhere, and it's like, okay, cool, that's fine.
yeah. On the
I'm out here.
first club server, I made a subway station. That was really fun. This iteration of the club server, I did like a mail system for
Jesus.
Automated mail system.
delivery.
You put. Let me explain how crazy this is. Kevin wired us up. All our homes wired us to the global network, and then there's drop boxes
Yeah.
in our village. You put a piece of paper that has the name of who you want it to go to, and then whatever you want to give them,
Mhm.
and it all goes automatically to their mailbox. It takes like 5 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's really, really cute and it's cool.
So what Minecraft iteration did you start on? This is gonna
Ooh,
turn into a
good question.
Minecraft conversation because
I don't know. Probably like I'm not sure. Whatever it was on in like 2012 and 2013.
That was like the start of beta, I think.
I think that was beta or like just launch, like very
A
soft.
big
launch.
one I played on was the beta 1.8, which was around that time.
I remember when the chests were just a block and they weren't actual chests and stuff, and like you can open it. The cobblestone texture was so noisy for no reason.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
don't think I played that early, but I think the biggest update that I remember was like horses. That was like
That was crazy.
Dude,
that
when horses
those
came
were the
out,
biggest
it was like,
crazy.
and it's like almost 10 years now.
When
Yeah.
you could start to dye stuff too.
Yeah,
the squids?
Oh my
yeah.
Man. Do you?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, who were your go-to Minecraft YouTubers?
Oh damn.
Because listen, Matt, you're shaking your head. But if you're interested in redstone, you look up some random redstone YouTuber.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
they
shaking
will-
my head because I'm remembering things I don't want to remember.
like it's okay. Captain Sparkles is still. I don't know if they're still a good person.
No, I was.
There are so many people that
Minecraft
just
scene.
came out the last like 2 years that are terrible people.
French Minecraft.
I was in a French Minecraft scene. I was in an entirely different ballgame than you guys were. I
I
didn't speak
watched-
English at the time.
I watched Ethos Lab and
Damn.
Seth Bling. I think were like two of my favorites. I still watch Ethos Lab.
Yeah.
I like the Hermit Crab, or not Hermit Craft folks. They're cool.
I never watched any English Minecraft YouTubers.
Yeah.
I was like not into it. But I watched a lot of French ones.
French Minecraft hit different.
I was a server fiend. I would like join servers and like be part of communities and shit.
Oh, I thought you meant like the really evil server hoppers that would like just grief all the time.
No, I would just like find a server and like for 6 months like be best friends with all those people, and I was like 12 and I would say I was like 16, and then they would tell me about their like divorce and stuff, and I'd be like, yes, I empathize with you. This must be really hard for
It's
you.
like that's
That was-
crazy.
Yeah.
That
I'll
was
be
my
your-
childhood on the internet.
Yeah, I'll be your therapist.
Yeah, exactly. I was
I'm
a
only
therapist
12.
for like 40-year-old divorcees.
Yeah, tell me about your life problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. We have any more iron?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, right?
Sorry about your kids' your divorce. We're almost out of gold though. I'm gonna go mine real quick. I'll be back. I need this
Pretty much,
track
dude.
finished.
Damn.
Pretty much, yeah. I loved Minecraft.
God.
Yeah, I actually think like we're not in Minecraft. Be a game developer.
That's cool.
I feel like
respect
a
that.
lot of people, and myself included, like really set Minecraft as one of the big inspiration points just for the creativity that
Oh, yeah.
allowed a lot of people to do. Like I remember making my own texture pack,
Yeah.
and it was just like really dumb. Like just change how to change stuff. You kind of learn how things are assigned and shit, or
Yeah.
like even like making your own game mode. Like
Yeah.
because everyone tried to make their own iteration of like Minecraft Hunger Games and shit.
Oh yeah, I was so into Minecraft Hunger Games.
It's like
I remember when I first played Minecraft Hunger Games, and I was like 12, and so it was like I was taking it very seriously, and I thought like, because having had watched Hunger Games, it's like if you win Hunger Games, it's like a big deal in like the movie and then in
Yeah.
the book. And so I think I was like down to just a couple of people, and I was like shaking. I was so nervous.
you would
So
have
I
anxiety
put so much
attacks.
stakes
I
into
hid
it.
underground
Yeah.
like half the time because I was
Also,
anxious.
I feel like I had the expectation that every Hunger Games match was like 100 people, but I feel like most of them were just like 12 people in a
Yeah.
little like mini arena.
100%.
It didn't feel that way. Yeah.
Everything feels larger than life when you're like prepubescent, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was in like multiplayer servers and they were organized like Spliff tournaments and stuff. You remember
Oh
Spliff?
Yeah.
my god!
Or
It
like
was called Spleef, right?
Spleef.
Not
Yeah,
Spliff.
not Spliff.
Spliff is a different thing, but
In French
I
it's called
said
Spliff.
Let me hit the Spleef.
Let me hit
yeah, yeah, the Spliff hitting
Um,
different dog. What's in this?
But and
what
then
redstone is this?
what do you guys call it? The game where you like jumping from really high into a pool and then you put a block where you landed and then you like. Have you ever played that?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
We call it like déaccoudre, which means you know the little protection you put on your finger when you're sewing?
The thimble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call it a thimble. And so it's like a 9x9 pool or a 3x3 pool, and then you put blocks there, and then you got to land in the water, put a block down, and then the last one that's still alive wins.
Oh, that's
interesting.
cool.
It's really fun. I don't know if it was a French thing. Probably not. But you know what? I was playing before the sprint was added.
Oh yeah.
You remember when they
yeah.
had sprint in 1.14 or something?
Yeah.
And I was a fiend with parkour maps. I would be on like I forget what the website was, but you could like download custom maps.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
know.
I would play the
think I know.
shit out of those. I would make
Planet
my own
Minecraft
and
or
stuff.
something.
Sorry?
Planet Minecraft.
Yeah,
Yes!
it was probably Planet Minecraft.
Yeah. I played I remember I think Seth Bling made like the Smash Bros. I forget what it's called, but it was like Smash Bros in Minecraft basically. And it was like Minecraft like flavored characters. Like they had like a creeper or something. It was just like a kit you had. And it was like meant for servers. I don't know what server I played it on, but in the lobby they had like the you would wait in the lobby with a glass front, and you would look at the game happening in front of you.
That's cool.
And then in the lobby they had like parkour all around, and so while you're waiting you do parkour. So I got really good at parkour.
That's fun.
Waiting for the Smash Brothers games.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
We're just talking about Minecraft.
Yeah,
No, that's
I was
fine.
gonna segue a little bit, unless you have more Minecraft content, Adrian.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I could talk about Minecraft forever, but I feel like if you want to move on, let's just like.
Well, I was gonna bring it back to Kevin a little bit in the sense that something that I'm always so impressed by about you is like how technical you are. Like you're doing shader coding, you're doing like you're a tech artist in my mind. You know, I know you work as an environment artist, but you've shown me some shit and you like have a really good grasp of concepts of like material shaders and like how to work within game engines that like a lot of just environment artists don't have, I think.
Sure.
How did you get interested in that stuff? Like how did you start on that? Because for me it's always been kind of nebulous.
Yeah.
Like how do tech artists start like doing tech art? Because it's such a weird intersection of tech and art, of like just fiddling with a shader or fiddling with an engine, but like for artistic results.
Yeah. I think like some of it may stem from the fact that when I was first getting into doing game dev stuff, I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do. And also like during college when I was first learning 3D art, at the same time I was also taking programming classes. And so I got a little bit of programming experience, and I was doing like game jams and stuff. I was kind of all over the place, and I didn't really even know what kind of discipline of art I was interested in. And so with just a little bit of programming background from that, I feel like that opened the door to a lot of tech art stuff. And then when I was focused on environment art, I realized that some of the programming stuff that I know can help like elevate my environment art, and you know, introducing some technical workflow stuff into my environment art is I think a big part of what got me hired at Aggro Crab in the first place. Because that environment I made, that was like the warehouse environment.
I remember that one, yeah. We were working on something at the same time from the same concept artist.
Oh yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, that one was like my first, like, at that point I was thinking, man, I need to make like a full environment to show like I can really make a full environment. Because at that point I think on my portfolio all I had was like props. And then I think I used that project also to show kind of like the technical stuff that I know.
Yeah, you had some cool like
shaders.
world aligned shaders and like some vert painting.
Yeah, I wrote a little like article, like a write-up on my Artstation about that stuff. That like was my attempt at like, please hire me. I know stuff.
I feel like we all do things
smart,
like that just to
smart.
get like out there and like this is what I can do. Please.
Yeah.
I think
notice
that's
me.
smart. I think that's a
Yeah.
good thing to do.
It's like the
because
standout thing.
People will like wait for like 80 level to contact them before they share any information, and I'm like, just put it on your Artstation blog. Like it's cool. Like
Yeah, totally.
people will read it.
Yeah. I love reading people's Artstation blogs. You learn little tidbits and little like, oh, I didn't know you could do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's actually really fun.
I need to actually do a full environment art breakdown at some point.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
Like I'm just tired. I feel like as soon as I hit publish, I'm like, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm done. I'm not
Yeah.
breaking this down. I'm gonna
Definitely.
go take a nap. But
I hear that.
it's like whenever someone does, it's just so interesting how like slightly different things that they do like up their art so much, and it's really interesting to see everyone's process.
Yeah. Yeah, like at Aggro Crab now, a lot of the work that I do daily is a lot of tech art stuff, with the goal of making the environments better, or even just like other parts of the game that aren't particularly environment. Because it's a small team, like we work together a lot, and often work a little bit outside of our disciplines for support, or just like for instance, like if there's a certain VFX that I can juice up with a cool shader, that's something I might do, or like help out character team with some tech art shader nonsense to like add a little sparkle on places. Yeah, so I mean, I do a lot of tech art even now at work.
So that whole concept is interesting to me because like I work on really big teams generally with like a lot of the other artists and like tech artists and VFX artists and level designers and everything, and like everything's very segmented, like regulated, like okay, this person is doing this specifically on this level.
Yeah.
If you need to do anything that's not related to that, you send it to someone else, right?
Right, yeah.
But like for you, as far as I understand, you're the only environment artist at Aggro Crab, so like you're the level guy, like you're doing all that. So there's probably a lot of like taking it at face value for me, that sounds exhausting, but that also sounds really exciting because you get so much ownership of everything.
Yeah, it can be both. It's very exciting, but sometimes it's like, oh man, if I could like because we're making a rather large game. Being the only environment artist means that I can't spend too much time in one place, and I can't spend too much time to polish. Censored.
I'm censoring.
Yeah, I just.
I'm trying to keep this PG. Juniper is determined to ruin our age rating on YouTube.
Juniper, stop. Stop fucking.
What was that?
Early.
Oh, it might have been the call box. I'm not answering that. But I forgot what we were talking about. I got so distracted.
It was
by Juniper.
Kev was mentioning that like because he's the only environment artist on the team. It's he can't focus too much on polish just because of the scale of the.
Yeah.
Which is like sorry, I like having full authorship of the art I make, which is like really cool. And I get to make like lots of creative choices that I feel if you work on a bigger team, those creative choices are passed along to other people.
Yeah, you need like 7 layers of approval.
Right,
yeah.
So it's nice not having that kind of pressure. It's nice to be a little bit more unstructured sometimes. And also just like working on a very small team means that I anytime I need something from like the level designer or like the other people on my team, they're always super easy to reach and work together with.
Sorry, Juniper is yelling at the same time as Kevin is speaking.
It's not picking up, so you're fine.
Okay, that's good. We'll just ignore it then.
Yeah, there's only like one meow, but she was like right by the mic, and you're
Oh, really? That's
yeah,
cute.
I just hear.
Yeah, that's pretty much Juniper.
Yeah.
I think not to ruin your expectations of working in a bigger team, but you'll never have enough time for polish.
Yeah.
That never goes away.
Yeah.
I think that's just working on a product that has a deadline.
Sure.
Unfortunately, you're always going to feel like you don't have enough time to actually do what you want to do.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I think I also understand a lot more of what Kevin's going through now, but just like on a completely different basis. So like going from Last of Us, which had both visual arts and Naughty Dog on the same thing. Like I had to go through approval from my senior, my lead, then Naughty Dog's ADs and their leads. So it's just like a trail of command. And then like when I'm going here, when I'm at turn 10, it's me, one other guy, my lead. That's it. It's like and even then me and the other guy are on the same level. So we just like help each other a little bit. And and I do a lot of the material work and the modeling work on my shit. So it allows that freedom in a way. But I'm not so like I'm still in that habit of like asking, like making sure it's fine with like 4 other people. And now I'm like, oh shit, no, I can't really do that anymore, or like I don't need to do that anymore,
Yeah.
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's jarring. Or for me, it was really jarring. It still is.
Yeah, I'm interested, like, maybe one day in the future, if I ever work on a bigger team, or like AAA or something, I'm interested to see, like, personally how I feel about that, because I have not had that perspective yet. Like,
Mhm.
this is my first full-time games job on a small team, so yeah, I'm interested to one day get that perspective working on a larger team.
I think
You're
you'll
gonna
find a
make
lot
a
of
tech
people.
artist really mad because you're like, he's like, this motherfucker named Kevin just does everything himself. I have nothing to do. I'm just getting paid. I'm getting wage theft over here, while they're fixing all their issues. I can't do
Yeah.
shit.
I think you'll find a lot of people go from working on big teams to smaller teams, specifically because you get more ownership and you get more like
Yeah,
freedom.
right.
It's funny you're doing it the opposite way that most people in the industry would do it. I think.
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
There's no wrong way to do it. Though.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
There's no wrong way to get a job in the industry in any field or a way to advance your career. You know, it can look a billion different ways, and it's all valid. I think.
Right, yeah.
Game dev is a big hunk of wires that makes no sense.
It is.
You know, I think the sugar crash of the boba is hitting me right now. I'm like starting to yawn. It's really bad. I need to pull myself together. Hold on, let me.
Jesus.
It sounded like I choked just now, but I don't think it picked up.
I'm gonna. I
Nice.
I know what I'm gonna do with that sound bit.
Oh God.
I thought.
I think I've just given Adrian meme ammo, unfortunately. Adrian, how long are we running right now?
We're only 45 minutes in.
Oh, we got like. We
Yeah, at
usually
least-
do like an hour for the format, so we have like 15 minutes to fill something up.
I'm looking through your Artstation right now, just because I realized I'm like I don't fucking follow Kevin Artstation, so I felt
Rude.
Damn.
I
You
didn't.
don't follow your first podcast guest episode on Artstation?
Oh, you're good.
I
you're
do
good.
now.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but like I saw the chain.
I see the
thing you
notification.
I saw the chain thing you did for your warehouse scene, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
damn, can I get that for Ivy? Can I commission you to make that tool for me real quick?
That's funny.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I had
love
a lot
stuff
of fun
like that.
making like little tools for that environment.
You did that in Unreal, right?
Like
Yeah.
the full spline work.
Yeah, that was a relatively simple tool that, like, you know, makes it a lot easier to fill a scene with chains.
Yeah, it's little things like that. I think that people get a lot of intro to like tech art with is like, oh, like how do I make my life a little bit easier? Like I'll
Oh.
set up a blueprint.
Yeah,
And suddenly it's like, oh, if I can set up a blueprint and like all these things are opening themselves up. Like, oh, if I want to add like a little like sway to my shader, like I can write like a little vertex offset thing.
yeah, totally. Yeah, and I think it's worth saying that in this particular environment, because it's just like a little like corner kind of single shot environment, and I made this specifically for like my portfolio
Yeah.
only. Most of the like tools and like procedural stuff that I did for this is like didn't really make sense. It didn't really save me time for making a single portfolio piece,
Mhm.
but these are things that would save you time in the context of you know, in like a development environment when you're making like a whole game, you know.
100%.
Right, yeah.
It's like
It's more about, I think a lot of at work, our frustrations as artists with something is it's like, oh, like I'm making shadow proxies by hand for some reason, or we're having to manually create GI boxes for the dynamic lighting.
Yeah.
And then we're like, this should be automated. And this is where tech artists come in and be like, okay, like here's how we're gonna automate this process.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, like how do we make this water shader like react to like, for example, if you have like moss on the water,
Mhm.
how do you like make it go away when a player goes over it?
Yeah.
And it's like the tech artist's like, I got you. Like let's
Yeah.
see what we can do. I think it's a really interesting place to be, I think, on a pipeline.
Yeah.
Because you're presented with problems that have visual solutions, but you're doing all the tech behind it. And it's got to be really satisfying to
It
like
is.
tinker until you get something and it looks just right and you're like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really grateful that I get to do a lot of that tech art stuff at work. So I am just an environment artist, but yeah, I get a lot of freedom to mess around with tech art stuff. We also do fuck around and find out Friday at Aggro Crab every once in a while. And
Is it FAF?
Papa.
Papa.
Five Nights
Papa.
at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Papa Friday. Wait, that's
Um,
in the acronym.
Yeah, but Pap Off is like a day where everyone can just kind of experiment and do whatever unhinged. Maybe it goes in the game, maybe it doesn't. Kind of experimental workflow stuff, or you know, that kind of thing. I guess the purpose of it is to like kind of grow, and maybe if we spend a day working on something for Fafoff, and it doesn't go in the game, that's fine. But if you learned something and had fun, then you won.
Then you win. You win
just
half
for
off.
people to do the freedom. And
Yeah, yeah. And so like I personally use Fafoff to do like some tech art stuff that I might usually not get to do, and I feel like thus far a lot of my Fafoff stuff has made it into the game.
Dang.
Granted, after a little bit of polish, but
Nice.
yeah.
Is there a FAF off standoff where everyone like shows all their stuff?
There's a show and tell, yeah. We do show and tell for Faf Off the next day or on Monday or whatever.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
cool. I wish more studios build that time into their schedule
yeah.
to be like, here's a little moment for like innovation and like
Totally.
just figuring something out that you always wanted to figure
Like
out.
that's what Respawn did.
Yeah.
That's what Respawn did. They had a big they allowed a lot of their developers to have that open freedom right after Titanfall, and they got Apex out of it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, really?
Right,
Like
I feel
Apex was
I've heard
made
this.
after they had like a mini game jam. I think it was like for a couple weeks to a month. But yeah, they took the mechanics of Titanfall and then they messed around with it in Unreal and they made it into a BR. And then everyone's like, wait, we can make this work.
That
And
is
that's
super
how they
sick.
got Apex. Like Apex
Wow.
was made out of shit like Fafoff and it's like, hey, maybe if you allow creative people to be creative and like do
Yeah.
fun stuff, you get cool shit out of it.
You definitely do.
And then big profit, I guess.
I'd love to do a game jam or like prototype situation like that. I've never gotten to do that in my career yet.
Game jams are so fun.
I say just do a
Um,
game jam if you're like, as soon as you're done with development and like you have time to reset,
Yeah.
just do a game jam or try and
That's
do one.
a nice refresher. Faf Off is like, you know, I think we do it like every two weeks or something.
That's
Or
awesome.
4, I don't remember, but it's a good refresher from, you know, take a break from your typical tasks, just have some fun and innovate.
Oh, sorry, I'm being very rude. Worst interview ever.
You're
but
good.
You're great in the first half,
no,
and then you got a little sleepy.
I got a little sleepy. I'm gonna take a little nap after this, maybe. But no, it's really interesting to hear about that stuff. I love learning. I don't know about you, but I love learning about how different studios operate and
Yeah.
like, because it's not about like the magic of a studio or whatever, but there's definitely decisions and way things are run that influence like the well-being of the employees or like
Absolutely.
a certain energy that a game can have, and I think it's interesting to look at that.
Yeah.
From like an outsider's perspective sometimes.
Totally.
So Matt, did you ever do any like side stuff, or was your focus just strictly environment art?
I sculpted a bust once of a pirate.
Okay, so like a little bit of a character on the side.
Yeah, but that was mostly like what was like a class assignment.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I used Unreal, and that was. I wonder if I still have it in my Artstation like unpublished stuff.
Gotcha.
Let's look at it.
Mine was level design. I always wanted to like.
yeah.
I just like made levels in like game modes, but that's just like again carrying over from Minecraft. It's like, what if I do this here? And
Yeah.
hell, Hunger Games turned into battle royales, and I'm never gonna like get off that hill. It's like
Yeah.
we wouldn't have
Mhm.
Fortnite without Minecraft.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I can't find it on my Artstation, but yeah, I kind of, well, I originally wanted to be a concept artist,
Hmm.
and I don't have the 2D skills for that at all, and I didn't feel like putting in the time. So I started 3D, and I was exploring all of it because they give you your first year, you get a bunch of different classes. So I took a rigging class, I took a compositing class, more for like VFX, where we used like Nuke and like Houdini, and I took a simulation class with Houdini. Um, but I always gravitated around game art and specifically environment art because it felt like the most accessible one for me.
Hmm.
Because I don't like it. I don't like to animate. I can do it. I've animated professionally, but I don't like it that much. And um, character art, there's too much. I'm sorry, but I don't like to read topo.
Are we starting off? Are we gonna end it off with pure character artist slander?
No, it's
Again?
not slander. It's admiration for the patience that character artists have.
Retopo is painful.
I can
Retopo
never-
is painful, especially when you have to rig and animate on top of that.
Yeah.
There's so many considerations you have to take,
Yeah.
and I like just hitting decimate and ZBrush, and then import it in, check for collapsed edges, and then literally go on my way. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
Makes life just a little bit sweeter.
Yeah. But of course, you don't have to have skinned mesh rocks. So
Yeah, exactly.
Not at all. If it's not animated, fuck topology.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Exactly. It's pretty chill. Yeah, and I mean, environment, I feel, lets you have so much impact, a visual impact in authorship, that and inhabiting a space and running around in it was always my favorite part of games. Like the reason I loved Super Mario Sunshine so much when I was a kid, I would just like fuck around on Isle Delfino, and I would go to the market, I would go look at everything, and like I would go find every little secret and stuff, and I was like, oh, like this is what uh artists do. I was like, oh, it's level design. And then I was like, well, design is fine, but you spend too much time in spreadsheets. I'm very visual. I like being right in there, pushing, moving stuff around, and like spending time to make it pretty. Which is why I played so much Animal Crossing, like decorating my own house.
absolutely, yeah.
Minecraft, just building stuff all the time. Other games like that, Club Penguin.
Club Penguin.
Club Penguin. Yeah, bars, Adrian, just like that. What else was I playing that like kind of made me want to do environment art? I don't have anything off the top of my head, but like it was, yeah. Environment art is just, I think, what makes the most sense for me. And then interestingly, like the more I'm in the industry, like the more I get interested in like production and like management and stuff.
Yeah.
And like getting to like, because I love people and I love interacting between people. I love making sure people on my team like feel good, they know what they're doing. Like if they need help with something, I'm like always like, hey, like do you need help? Like can we write documentation for this? Like would that make it easier?
Yeah.
Like that type of
Do
stuff.
you think there's leadership like in your future?
Wait, 100%. Yeah. I think I want to get there, not because I want the power to like have more creative decisions on a game. I think on higher level stuff, I think that is a perk, but most of it for me comes with like happy team, like happy project, like and
Yeah.
everyone feeling their best and being able to bring their best foot forward and like facilitating that. Because I've been in situations where I felt like things could have been handled better, or like just like production shit. And production always goes wrong at some point. I think it's inevitable, but I want people to have a good experience when they're working on a team.
Totally.
And I think being in management is something I can do to like help that. I've talked about a little bit with some of the producers at work about like picking up a few like extra little things so I can like start learning that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's something that producing is so nebulous. Production in general is so nebulous. Like and it differs so much based on every single studio.
Yeah.
Being a producer is never going to look the same at two different studios.
Right.
It's such a unique job, and I think that part of it that interests me is like how nebulous it is.
Yeah.
It's like I want to learn. I want to be in. I want all the info. I want in. Like tell me like, and that's part of what drew me to it. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to give up environment art though.
Yeah.
Not just yet. I need a couple more years, I think.
I have a feeling I'm gonna just I'm gonna do something completely different when I'm 30.
You think you're
32.
gonna be gone from game dev?
No, like maybe I'll be done with environment art and do something else when I'm like 30 or 33.
You gonna
I'm
pick
gonna-
up fucking VFX or something?
No, I think I might go. I don't know. Honestly, I'm 25 and I didn't know where I'd be, so I'm just chilling.
Yeah. I'm
Honestly.
chilling.
And like game
Yeah.
dev's crazy. Like
Game dev is crazy, bro.
Game dev is wild.
Yeah, where do you
Kevin?
see? Yeah, Kevin, where do you
Where do
see?
you see yourself
in
in
your
10
future?
years?
Not 10 years, just like in your like. Is there somewhere you want to go forward from here, like in your career, like things you want to do?
Yeah. I mean, I think I want to like dive deeper into tech art. And yeah, I'm not ready to let go of like environment art stuff just
Mhm.
yet because still really enjoy it. But yeah, I feel like moving on. I feel like I'll gravitate more towards tech art as I progress. But yeah, that's all for now. Otherwise, I'm just chilling.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Like you can think about all these things, but at the end of the day, like we're chilling.
Yeah.
We're just here day to day.
Yeah.
Just out here trying to make games and shit.
Just making games.
Yeah,
one day
for
at
now,
a time.
I'm just trying to make some banger.
Bangers. I'm so excited to play another Crab's Treasure, which is
I need
out
to check it out.
next year.
Like,
Yeah.
Something.
I need
Please
to check
wishlist
out
it.
all the games.
Yeah. Hey, wishlist another Crab's Treasure on Steam. That helps a lot.
Actually, I'll ask that real quick. What does wish listing do to indies? Because AAA,
From
I don't know if
Yeah,
you
go-
know,
go ahead.
but
well, from what I understand, it helps visibility on Steam and Steam's algorithm, and it's also like the best way to notify the gamer when the game comes out. We had a TikTok just about this and just a little bit ago
can you link it?
on Aggro Crab TikTok. Yeah, I'll link it to you after. But it's like, I think it's the main thing is that the notification of when the game comes out that you get on Steam, which is a big one, and also it's just like you'll remember it. You see it in your wish list later on. Don't forget it exists if it comes out like a year later. Also, there's just behind the scenes algorithm nonsense happening that more wishlist games are more visible on the Steam front page and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Bars.
It's one of those things where I still haven't experienced it because it's Call of Duty, Last of Us, and now Forza. It's like you don't need to wish list these. Like they're
Yeah,
the
they
nature of
already
them is
have
different.
like hella visibility in the gaming space, whereas
so it's
like,
like,
a
how
lot of
does
indie
a
games have to
game-
like fight for visibility.
exactly.
Yeah, my experience on small titles like God of War Ragnarok, you really need to wishlist it on Steam to
Oh,
get
what
any visibility.
indie studios?
Small indie studio, by the way.
A small indie studio called Sony Santa Monica. Well,
Never.
you
heard
know,
of them.
I don't work for them, but I work with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, small. You probably have like what, 15 people, something
Alright.
like that.
Probably.
No,
Oh.
I'm making a joke about Santa Monica.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's there. You have a very different experience than we do. I think in the game development space, which I think is interesting. Yeah.
All right, I got one final question for you, Kev, right before we wrap up. Rock, paper, or scissors?
rock.
I have
That's an
paper.
easy
You
one.
lose. All right.
Oh, I think.
Thank you, everyone,
can't
for
play.
watching this episode
wanna
of the Broken
play.
Build Podcast.
I want to play.
You're not the guy. Okay, fine. Rock, paper, scissors.
Damn.
I did not mean to do that. Bye, everybody. Follow us on Twitter. Kevin has a Twitter. Kevin has an Artstation. It'll all be linked in the description. I broke Adrian, so I'm just gonna finish the outro.
Okay.
You can follow us on YouTube. You can subscribe, like, whatever you want to do. That's great. We love you. Thank you for listening. Tune in next week for another episode of the Broken Build podcast. Adrian, do you have anything you want to add?
Okay.
Make sure you ring the bell.
Yeah, please ring that bell. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Kevin, for coming on.
Yeah,
First guest
thanks for having
ever.
me.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And cut.